Welcome back to the Backlog Boys podcast at the cinema. With you, as always and forevermore, we have the copperhead himself, Samuel.
How you doing?
Real confident there.
I don't know. What do you want me to say as a copperhead?
I don't know. Be like, I'm a snake.
I don't know.
And then we have the snake charmer himself, Alexander.
Get over here, Sam. Let me charm you up a bit.
Whoa!
Yo, chill, dude.
Oh, you'll make me stand up.
Oh, make your head copper.
Something gonna be blown and ain't the
That's gonna
flu,
be
buddy.
hard as copper.
Oh Jesus, this is already bad.
Yeah.
Then there's me. I'm the bride, Omar.
Black Mamba himself.
Whoa!
Who are you getting married to, Omar?
Whoa! Censor him.
No.
He said something he should not have.
No, he
It's-
just said the
It's a snake.
I'm not doing
What?
this.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, if you couldn't tell by our epic snake references, we're talking about G.I. Joe, Return of Joe. Remember, because the snake's in it.
Yeah.
Sam's having none of it.
No.
We're talking about Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
And
I guess it's Kill Bill, right? I mean, I don't know.
it's
Just
Kill Bill
one movie.
duology.
Yeah, Kill Bill 2-part. Well, they're making a third one. It was that point.
Are
Anyway.
they making a third
No.
one?
Well, every time I look up Kill Bill, the third one, like, he keeps saying Kill Bill 3
No,
and a picture of his
he's
dog.
I
only-
think it's just fans.
He's only making 10 movies. He has
well, I
one
didn't even
left.
say Queen was going to make it.
Oh, what the?
Anyways, if you couldn't tell, I just said Quentin Tarantino. This is his fourth film, fifth, I guess, if you want to count.
Yeah.
And then
I
there's
think
two.
he counts it as one.
Oh, because it's his
Because
fifth.
it was filmed as one.
Yeah. You know what's wild? I just what's that stats and facts? My epic segment. The last movie he made was Jackie Brown. I don't think any of you guys seen Jackie Brown.
No.
No, but I saw the description for it and it sounds kind of cool.
It's
What's
okay.
it about?
It's okay.
It's a flight attendant who like gets caught up between the DEA and like criminals or some shit.
Mhm.
I don't know, something like that. But it sounds pretty cool.
It's like
Okay.
it's
Listen,
definitely his weakest film I've seen out of all the films I've seen.
I've heard of it, and people say it's better.
I don't know.
I think like for the Tarantino heads out there, it doesn't stack up to the ones that everyone loves, Django, Inglourious Bastards, even Kill
Glorious
Bill.
Bastards is still the best.
Like Inglourious Bastards is my favorite,
Django.
but Django is really
I
good.
love
Anyways,
Django. Yes.
but Jackie
Movies are not
Brown.
these movies.
Anytime anyone talks about like Quentin Tarantino movies, it's always like they talk about their favorites, and then later on in the conversation, they're like, "Oh yeah, Jackie Brown's also a thing," you know, like.
Because it's a Jackie Brown review. One of it came out of Pulp Fiction. That's already kind of fucked up because like
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction's like people also consider that's like
Yeah.
one of the best movies of all time. Not even like his movies. But I think just because it's there's the least amount of things happening. Like it's just like a generic, not like a generic doesn't mean, but like a regular movie. Like there's nothing wacky about it. Really, it's just like a flight attendant.
I mean, so was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and everybody talked about that one.
Well, that one has like the wacky in it. Like you know what I mean. Like the spoiler, I don't want to say the spoiler.
that movie is also more recent, so I think it's like
Like he's already
it's
like
like
made
recency
like
bias. Like when Kill Bill came out, everyone was talking about Kill Bill, but like now
Well, to be
that
fair,
we
not everyone likes Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's also not
That's
like people's favorites.
I think it's great.
Oh yeah, I think it's great too.
haven't
but-
seen it yet. Love the feet shots in it. Anyways,
But, anyway, speaking of feet, back to this movie.
yeah.
This is the first. I might have been like the first like kind of big feet thing.
Yes,
I don't
think
watch
it's-
Jackie Brown that much.
From what I know, there were feet shots in Pulp Fiction. I think I don't know.
Probably.
I was googling around and it was like, why
Yeah.
are there so many foot shots in Pulp
What
Fiction?
the fuck is this?
And but this is the most overt with the feet thing. Like it's
There's literal scenes.
there's little scenes that are just focusing on feet so
He
many
says,
times.
"Move, little piggy."
And I'm gonna put this picture on screen, but I'm
God.
gonna show you guys
Move
this
your big
picture.
toe.
But
I'm gonna suck your big toe. That's what she says in the movie.
Yeah.
She says, "Bill, pull those socks down." When he jokes.
it's such a weird picture. I'm putting it on screen.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's a real picture.
I'm scared.
Just so we know who Quentin is.
Oh my god.
What a legend.
So it's not a bit. Like he
Oh.
actually likes feet.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
And joking too, apparently.
What?
Joking too.
Oh yeah.
He did a scene in this movie where he chokes Uma Thurman.
Yes.
Oh, he was the
yes.
one who did that?
Yeah.
Oh, love that
was
for him. I think, I don't know. Anyways.
We'll talk one part of me. I don't know later a bit.
Yeah.
And more stats facts. The budget, $30 million to do both.
Okay.
But because they released separately, he got like different like box office for each
Payouts.
one.
Yeah.
First one was 183.
Okay.
The second one 150.
So you're saying people didn't go to see the second one?
Probably because they didn't even know that it was like a thing. They're probably just like, oh, was it?
And probably people's like, oh, volume 2? I never saw volume 1.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it.
Yeah,
That's true.
People say volume this because how many movies have you actually seen that actually say the word volume in it? You know what I mean?
It's probably this one.
Yeah,
Movies
exactly.
with the word volume.
They're like, oh, this one volume 1, this is volume 2. Like that's what you see in like TV shows or like movies and not movies, animes and stuff.
Yeah,
like that's more of like that than like a DVD as opposed to like in the cinema, if you will. Alice is gonna pull out. He's gonna whip it out. He's gonna whip some shit out.
He's gonna take his sword out.
What kind of sword? So why was this movie about this movie, right?
What?
What?
Sam died there because he had a stroke because I had a stroke.
You had a stroke.
We had a joint stroke there.
What's going on?
So Quentin Tarantino, obviously because Uma Thurman was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Being with her, she was a mother she was a preggers at the time of this movie. So he was just like, what if we make a movie?
Okay.
Why are you laughing? What's so funny about that?
I just thought of that clip of Chuck E. Cheese saying poggers because he said preggers. I'll play it. I'm giving myself a lot of work for this episode. I'm sorry.
Poggers.
I mean, why you say sorry, dude? You're the one that's sorry, future you.
I'm saying sorry to future me.
But yeah, she got so she was preggers in real life during the filming. Oh, they had to stop filming it because she got pregnant. Obviously, she does like all of the stunts. I think maybe most of them.
Yeah. Isn't this the movie she also got injured?
Yeah, she got a car crash.
What is that for? Anyways, we'll get to that later.
I'll go ahead and list states, facts, tax, facts. Down the stats.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was preggers. So and he had her child who is an actress. She's a
Maya Hawke.
Yes. So then she was like, what if I make a movie about moms?
Wait, I thought she was. When was this movie filmed?
Didn't you say that she was pregnant while they were filming this?
Yeah, they stopped.
This came out in.
If she's making this about being a mom, then wouldn't that have been made beforehand?
Pretty sure Maya Hawke's our age.
Is she?
So that's like 99, 98.
Oh.
Well, this movie came out in 2003.
Maybe she had her second kid when this movie was happening.
This movie got out in 2003.
Yeah, this.
So
I guess that kind. I don't know.
Either she was preggers with Maya. Or she just got bit, or like another one. It's about
a pregnancy inspired this movie.
It's because of Uma Thurman, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't question my non-reading abilities that I don't know how to read. Anyways, that's all the stats effects. I don't know if the car crash. Well, I mean, I guess it's like.
Well, like I was gonna ask, like I don't remember that car crash.
It's because like it's weird because there's a lot of scenes there's driving in this movie, but like it's like in black and white half the time.
It's the beginning of volume 2.
Yes.
That car scene.
Literally
how the movie starts.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I don't remember there getting a crash.
Literally, like that wasn't part of the movie. It had a car crash.
No, the car crashed and like
she was like, "This is I don't feel safe," and she wanted a stunt driver, and Tarantino was like, "No." Like,
I think so. What happened was that Tarantino was like, "I'll test it myself." He goes one way, and I think. For the actual shot, they just like, okay, just go back the same way he did, and I think the way back like
it's different.
Yeah, it was like a sharper turn or something, and she hit a tree.
She got her shit fucked,
and that's what ruined her relationship with Quentin.
Well, then she also got choked by him.
Yeah.
Also in this movie, that was part 1 though. That scene.
That was him getting his revenge.
He's like, how dare you?
He's like, you're gonna ruin my movie. I'll ruin you, man.
Wow,
that's exactly what he said. We have footage of him.
I want to see like how she thinks.
That?
What? No.
Sam.
No, like I know there was like a lawsuit recently.
Yeah, about her
because of that.
Yeah.
But that's my relation.
She wanted a car, right? The footage of the car being destroyed.
Oh, she wanted the footage of the accident, I think.
Something like that.
It was like it happened while they were filming, so of course they would have footage of it. I think she was trying to prove something.
And I think the thing was like Tarantino might have destroyed it.
Well, I don't know.
I thought he was just like, no one can touch my films.
I think it might have been somebody else destroyed it. Another big person who works in this movie.
I was gonna mention that. I don't know if you want to censor his name.
I think they did give it to her, but she had to like sign a whole bunch of NDAs. I think.
Probably.
So speaking of NDAs,
my favorite.
There were two people I saw in the credits that shocked me. One more negative than the other. Harvey Weinstein when he showed up, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm pretty sure that's when the recent
that stuff happened. Yeah. And obviously Quentin Tarantino like before he was just like he's like Harvey as like his dad kind of. So, you know.
Yeah, he made a lot of movies with Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. So. Kind of like his big career stuff was because of Harvey. The other guy I was surprised about was the music. RZA. You guys know who that is?
No.
Jesus Christ. Wu-Tang Clan. Jesus Christ.
I've heard of Wu-Tang. I've never listened to their music.
All right, well, I can tell who's the fucking white people of this group is you two. Jesus.
I know my cousin went to a show there's like a couple weeks ago.
I know there's a PlayStation 1 controller that's shaped like the Wu-Tang Clan logo.
This
That's
is
pretty
all
cool.
you guys know? Holy shit.
Is it Redman in Wu-Tang?
I don't know.
Method Man?
Math Man? Yeah, he's in it too.
No, why is it controversial though?
No, Harvey Weinstein is controversial.
I thought you said two controversial things.
No,
You
there's
said
two
you noticed
surprising.
one more controversial than the other.
And I said one is controversial, the other one wasn't.
So just two surprising.
Yeah. I
Credits.
didn't know RZA worked on this. I was like, holy shit. Obviously, he doesn't know who the fuck he is. But
Did you watch this movie with subtitles, by the way? Because it spoiled something for me.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So that's
the only
cool.
that comes out is the like when they speak.
Let's
other
just talk about
languages.
this movie, huh?
We're in the Kill Bill, dude. So I remember when I watched this.
Sure.
So I think I watched this.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably not when it came out, but like years a little afterwards. But when I got older, I learned those two parts, and I had no idea which one. I was talking to Alice about this beforehand. I was like, I didn't remember which one I watched, and then I watched them. Like, I've seen the first one.
At least you saw
I've
it
never
in order.
seen
the second one. No,
I didn't ever seen the second one.
That's how I was too. I think my uncle had it on DVD, and I vaguely remember certain scenes. But like,
all the ones I remember from one.
I count this as the first time watching it because, like, as a kid, I was like, "That's
I barely remember shit from it or whatever."
I remember the fucking SpongeBob episode it inspired.
Did it?
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Kill Mr. Krabs?
I think so.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that
like
either
ripped off from
older movies that was like Tarantino paying homage, or things later on ripped off this movie because it was paying homage. And in both cases, like it's one of those things where I think I should have watched it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because now when I see this stuff, I'm just like, this is cringe, man. Like 2 Willem screams in a row. Come on,
that was
man.
wild. Yeah. I heard one and I was like, okay. Then the second one, I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, that was quick. Okay,
that was
cool.
interesting. Yeah. That's the only complaint I have this whole movie.
I will say, no, my big thing is I really didn't like this movie at the start because I've only ever seen like Inglourious Bastards and Django and like the serious quote unquote Quentin
They're more
movies.
realistic than this.
More realistic and not as comedic focused. You know what I mean? So when this came on and they're doing like weird, goofy fight scenes with like Johnny Test sound effects, like there's a scene later on where they literally use the whip crack sound effect from Johnny Test. I don't know if it's from it, but it sounds just like it.
The one that's
first of all,
after
Johnny
every
Test-
joke.
First of all,
that sound effect.
First of all, Johnny Test is like from way after this.
I know, but I'm saying like
So Johnny Test would have stolen it from
my
this.
relationship to these sound effects and
God.
things are like now it's like this is cringe and I'm not into this. But then I was like, oh wait a minute, this is like a parody. Like I'm supposed to laugh at this.
I was about to. So
This is a parody,
you're
right?
Saying I think so. But you're saying it's cringe. It's like.
Well, like
Yeah, you watched JoJo.
you're right. No, but here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. Like, I don't think JoJo takes itself seriously, actually.
No.
Right? But I only ever know Quentin movies as like we're taking ourselves seriously. I'm showing you this really cool thing. Look at how cool I am.
I mean, like even in Django, he literally makes jokes about like the KKK. Like that whole KKK scene in Django is a whole joke.
But he's like taking the piss out of the KKK.
Yeah, that's what this kind of.
He's trying to make a
kind of
statement.
also like.
But he's not. No. Because Quentin's making fun of the KKK because he's like they're stupid, right? In this, he's not saying kung fu movies are stupid.
Yeah, but he's saying like you're saying like this
He's
is who
saying,
he's.
I love this shit, and I'm gonna show you Akira Kurosawa blood splatters.
You're
you know?
like all his movies are serious. I'm like, no, all those movies you mentioned are all like there's a lot of jokes in it that are pretty fucked up. Like they're I don't know, and I don't. That's pretty weird. Like I don't know what you're talking about, but like you're saying this. I've never thought of a Quentin Tarantino movie being like really serious.
No.
Like,
he has something.
There's like a gravity to those movies a lot more.
Well, I mean, this movie also has a big gravity thing.
Well, that's the thing. I think part 2 is actually much better than part 1.
Oh, for
Volume
sure.
2 is so much better because it there's less of the goofy wacky shit in part 2.
It's more narrative,
Yes.
which I like. This is
Literally-
just part 1 is just action.
There's one scene in part 2 that I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck is this movie? But I'll get to that later.
Part 1's my favorite.
Ooh, stop.
Yeah,
Really?
it is, yes.
Oh.
Okay, let's actually talk about this movie.
Okay.
'Cause we're just saying things
We're
without
just-
not
yeah.
explaining
We'll
anything.
get
We
into
only do
summary
this half
real
the time.
quick.
So, Alexander,
Yes.
this is his film.
This is my film.
Yes.
So, Kill Bill.
Who? I thought that was a character's name when I watched it as a
Like
kid.
the main character's
Yeah,
name?
because you
Oh
don't
my
know
God.
her name
Okay.
until like
Yeah.
way later.
Well, essentially, Kill Bill is a revenge story.
Mhm.
The bride.
Like every other Quentin Tarantino
Yep.
movie, it's a
He
revenge
goes.
story.
This is her story of going to Kill Bill.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Essentially.
That's kind of all you need to know, really.
This is like basically it.
I was like, easy job.
Well, the movie starts off, it's all cinematic in black and white. You're seeing the carnage of like the aftermath of a massacre, and Bill is like giving this monologue saying that he's like being masochistic, not sadistic, by killing the main character, the bride.
This is mercy.
This is mercy. And then she doesn't actually get killed. She actually is alive.
She survives.
She survives.
Out of pure spite and
just like Falling in Vegas.
Yep.
And basically, she is fallen. She's the courier
Right from the start. But so then it cuts to way later. Oh no! The movie actually starts with her fighting.
Copperhead. Yeah.
Copperhead. Well, I thought it still started with her.
No,
it starts with the black and white, and then it goes right to that.
It starts off with the pussy wagon.
Oh, we're pulling up in the pussy wagon.
Yeah.
You're right. It does start off with her pulling up in the pussy wagon.
And then they fight.
And then when she does that, when she finishes that fight, then it does the backstory.
Yes.
That's another thing in general that I'm kind of over with older Tarantino movies, especially. I think the newer ones aren't as bad about it. Like Inglourious Basterds and Django, there is like a chapter, quote unquote, structure to them, but there's not hard cuts, and it's like chapter 3.
This movie was all over the place.
This movie was like jumping around a lot.
Yeah. But they literally named that massacre that happens in the beginning, like the technical beginning of the movie, until like. Was that the second movie?
That's the second movie.
They don't even name it until the second one.
She's just like, they're calling it the whatever massacre.
Massacre at Two Pines.
Like, I've always known that this was like, so there's like a theory that this movie is like the movies that the people in the main
universe from
the other movies would watch, which is why this is super ultra violent and crazy.
Yeah.
Which like makes sense as like thematically, but still I was just like, I don't know about this, guys. Like, I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing at this like this. I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing like this.
It's overly acted.
Yeah, it's a little too.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
it's like, because I remember there's a scene where she goes to Japan, and like halfway in the scene, I'm like, is this racist? But then as the scene kept going, I'm like, oh no, I get it. I get this now. But like that's how I think you're gonna be thinking. Current day us, or maybe if we watch it at the time. I mean, what do you guys would be like? One?
No, I think
like 1 year old.
Here's the thing.
Like
at the time,
it had to be like 4.
I think we're looking at this in a different context too, because if you think of the early 2000s, right, this is also really like Japanese influence, obviously.
Yeah.
And Japanese culture isn't as massive as it is now in the early 2000s. There's weebs still. There's still people who like Dragon Ball and shit, but it's not as culturally.
Last Samurai.
Yeah, it's not as culturally accepted as it was. As it is now, I mean. So like an average Joe watching Kill Bill in 2003 is going to be like, whoa, this is super neat and interesting.
This is exactly how the Japanese are.
What is this Japan? Anime. Whoa.
What the fuck am I watching? That's what he said.
Exactly. So it's like this sense of like, ooh, this is interesting, mysterious, and different. But now we're just kind of looking at it and like, oh, okay, cool. I know what this is. Like I've seen this. I watched JoJo. I'm used to wacky, weird Japanese influence shit.
Yeah, that's when I started like liking
Embracing
the movie more. When they're doing some like weird fucking stares, and I'm like, oh wait, this is familiar. I've seen this before. This is JoJo.
It's just JoJo.
This is live action JoJo.
I love how like I feel like I have the completely different like reactions
perspective
to
on
you
this?
guys than like I walked in like. This isn't a serious movie.
That's the thing. Like, you walked in thinking that. I didn't.
I walked in with the fucking history of knowing that this is like one of Tarantino's greatest films.
I did too, but I also like. I don't know if I just knew ahead of time, but I knew it wasn't like. I knew it was ultra violent for no reason. So that alone, I'm like, this is gonna be like extra.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't walk in like this. I'm like super serious or whatever. Like especially after the first fight, I'm like, oh, this is like a.
Goofy.
This is not like stupid serious. This is just like a serious plot, but everything else around everything else is just like extra.
In both parts, I really actually prefer everything except for the fight scenes. Like the fight scenes is when I'm like kind of like
there was a fight scene in part 2 that was really good.
There's a fight scene in part 1 that's like the best.
But it's fine. But like a lot of the serious like what's the word? I guess low key or more like subtle stuff, especially in part 2, is so much more interesting to me. Like I want a backstory on certain characters after seeing part 2, right? But part 1, it's very action focused, and because I'm not as into this weird over the top shit, I'm just like, okay, it's fine.
I mean, you get backstory on the characters for part 1.
But it's different because in part 1, it tells you all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get told the story of O-Ren.
Yes.
Right?
Which was awesome.
Which is fine.
It was really great.
It's fine.
Awesome.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I really liked the story of Bud, or whatever.
Because
it was showing so much, and it was like, oh, this is really interesting. I want to see more of this character.
Yeah,
I didn't think any of them were weak. Really.
I think the weakest one is the nurse, the one who dresses up as a nurse. By the way,
like California Snake, something or whatever.
Mountain
Snake, yeah, something like that. The one with one eye.
The fucking costume change that she does at the beginning of part 1.
I actually like her a lot.
That's goofy as fuck. She's fine, but she is like the weakest of the main people.
It's the weakest fight.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't know. I feel weird. I feel like that's so strange. I feel like I'm like super like I have to defend this for some reason.
This is Inherent Vice all over again.
I know, this is weird.
This movie's amazing.
I generally thought I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be alone. No,
like this movie's like
you're not. I love both of them.
We're loving it for different things.
But yeah, no,
I'm like loving it, all of it.
Yeah,
like all of its entirety as both movies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all the characters were perfect for what they needed to be. The only character I wish there was more of was Bud. Other than that, I'm like everything else is perfect. The one-eyed lady, I thought she was perfect what she had to do. Maybe Copperhead too. Maybe, but even then, I don't think I need that much. Yeah. And then O-Ren is like my favorite because I just thought like because obviously they gave her way more backstory. Kind of like have to like really like her more. But Bud was like, I wish I had more. Especially how he died. I was like, damn. I wish he didn't die that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's really good. It's all really good. The only really problem I had with it was so I'm taking audio design class in school right now.
Both of you guys are just like, oh, you technical. I don't fucking know.
No, the editing of the audio in this is so weird.
Dude, I noticed that. There's so many times where the music just stops.
It like cuts in at random parts, and like there's 2 sounds playing at the same time. I'm like, God, this is hurting my ears.
It's really weird, and it's hard to pay attention sometimes because I'm just like, oh, okay, what the hell?
Yeah, no.
Or go for it.
Yeah, no, because so we were like making a commercial for a project, and everything has to be like on point. Sound effects need to like go up when there's no music playing. You know, go down when the music starts playing again. Yeah. And this movie did none of that. I'm like, bro, this is fucking week 2 of a fucking sound design class. I thought you're a professional, Tarantino. What the hell?
You have the money for this. Like, this isn't your first rodeo. Yeah, it feels like it because he's going so. I think it's also because he's trying to pay homage to all these different things. So I think he was trying to shoot it in a certain way, maybe. Which is like there was a lot of music that in the context of
post-production stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he did that intentionally. I think it almost goes back to using the Willem scream twice in a row. Like that's such a beginner mistake, I think. But I think he totally did it intentionally because he's like, yeah, of course, like old school movies would replay shit all the time. Like that's just how it is.
I guess.
You know? Like, I think a lot of the things that I didn't like about this movie is just because he's like, oh, but it's like a reference, dude. Like, it's funny.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I still don't like how it sounded.
Oh, no, I didn't either.
No.
You know what's interesting?
What?
This is the weirdest comparison. Yeah, I just watched a video yesterday. I'm comparing, like, Quentin Tarantino to Kanye West in my head. I brought it up because Kanye West, I saw an interview of him, like, not too long ago, and he talks about Quentin Tarantino, where, like, because Kanye West, as a musician, does that a lot. He samples like old music all the time. Like literally is it Power? He has like King Crimson. Yeah. Like songs or whatever.
Yeah,
and like
he samples gospel music all the time.
He samples all like I forgot what songs into recently. The one he was talking about. I think it's No More Parties in LA. And like the intro is just like old music from like a long ass time ago, and like all he does is like that and then just kind of like modernize it for like himself.
But that's the difference. Kanye recontextualizes that shit.
I'm trying to say is though, like this is made from like 2000. You know what I mean? So like maybe this was modernized from that time period, because again we weren't born and raised in that time. Like when we were born and like actually have growing brains, this movie was already kind of done.
But we've seen movies from that era and we have not seen like Royal Tenenbaums is 2001 and it does not have beginner audio mistakes.
Unbreakable's like a year after it.
I want to talk about Unbreakable later, actually. What? I want to talk a bit about Unbreakable later, actually.
Well, I might too, but maybe I don't know if it's the same reason. But okay, to be fair, again, the whole audio thing, I don't know what you guys are talking about, to be honest. Like I never heard any of it.
It's because this guy doesn't edit the podcast. That's why.
Like I don't.
It's
like,
so like the first time you hear that, like the fucking siren sound, it cuts in so weird.
It cuts in weird and it cuts out weird.
Yeah.
There's no fading or anything, which is not what you're supposed to do at all.
To me, it's like I didn't see it as an issue. I'm not like this is bad. I'm just like okay.
Well, like. It just makes it seem like really like you didn't pay attention.
I don't even.
To these small
details. I don't even think
it's like okay. So
I think this is intentional, like you said. Like I think this is all intentional.
It's intentional, but
that's
why
I don't see an issue. That's why I don't see it as an issue.
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh, you're not doing this because you're bad. You're doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see this as a bad thing.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just not as a hard on for like sound engineering as you guys are, and I'm just like, it's fine.
Like I get that it's intentional. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, like again, like
it's also like only like 4 seconds.
I think every time it happens.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. To me, I'm like that's not bad.
I'm not saying it's just the sirens. It's anytime there's music involved in this movie, it just cuts in quickly and cuts out abruptly. Like there's just small weird editing things. It's the overuse of like fucking swishing sound effects. I think is ridiculous.
I think they just let the intern edit this one.
I'm like 90% sure this is all intentional.
Yeah,
everything, all the sound effects, all the goofy shit. Because me watching this, I'm like, this is like a 70s Japanese like fucking like a Jackie Chan film he would make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I watch like I fucking watch movies. I've seen clips of like old Jackie Chan movies, and they sound like the exact same.
I don't know,
like those kind of whoosh sound effects and how they do combat.
This is also modern, like
that's what I'm saying. Like he's doing it on purpose because he loves that shit.
Okay, but
this is literally like him being like, I want to make my own.
This is his like pet project that he wanted to make one of those movies.
Once is like it's an homage. Twice, okay, you want to have fun. More than that, like, bro, come on. This is your magnum opus, apparently.
I do think this is his Tarantino at his most indulgent. The fact that he made a 4-hour movie.
No, yeah, this is like his.
This is like his baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is referencing all his inspirations.
6 years to make.
Yeah,
because he made Jackie Brown in like 90 something.
Yeah,
and then again, like, this came out like 2003.
This is the Snyder cut of the 2000s.
I guess so. Yeah. So I don't want to say this is an awful movie, but like personally, this is really like my least favorite Tarantino movie I've ever seen. Like I've seen this, Inglourious Bastards, Django, Reservoir Dogs, and Pulp Fiction. Actually, I think Pulp Fiction's worse.
That's wild.
I don't like Pulp Fiction. It's fine.
I love Pulp Fiction.
Are we counting both parts as one?
I'm counting both parts as one.
Because I really like part 2 over 1. So if I could choose to part 2, part 2 is high up for me. Part 1's not.
I'm counting both of them as one because it was filmed and written as one. You know what I mean?
Would you count completely different?
The only reason they don't split it, they split it up is because they couldn't put an intermission between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you ever count? This is a random question.
Sure.
Would you count Lord of the Rings as one movie? Because they were also filmed back to back to back.
Were they?
Yeah. That's why they all came out like 1 year apart.
Are they advertised like one big movie like this one?
I'm saying because you say like it's all filmed like as in if it was one.
Well, like the original intention of Kill Bill was to be one movie though. You know what I mean? Like Lord of the Rings was at least like we're filming 3 separate movies. This isn't like Avatar 3, 4, and 5 being filmed right now.
Even like Tarantino's like, this is my 4th film, not
my 5th
4 and 5.
Really.
It's 4.
Yeah. So like he treats this as one movie, so I'm treating it as one movie. You know what I mean?
No. You're wrong. Lord of the Rings is better.
Regardless.
Yeah. I guess
consider it one
this
movie.
is my least favorite Tarantino.
Yeah.
No. Wrong.
Well, okay.
Incorrect.
Aside from audio issues and weird stilted acting, I do think the combat is pretty like entertaining as a parody. I don't think this is a serious movie and fun to see. Like I've seen Enter the Dragon before a long time ago now, like the Bruce Lee movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's like interesting and cool to see the combat. That's cool, right?
Yes.
In this one, it's not cool. It's goofy and funny. It's like the Kingdom Hearts China like kung fu film.
That's wild.
Like
that's wild
goofy,
thing to say.
That's how goofy it is to me. You know, where it's like I'm not supposed to take this seriously at all. You know,
but you are for Kingdom Hearts at least.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts is very serious.
Dude, fucking Goofy dies for a second.
Goofy says a word he can't say.
Anyways.
This movie's fucking epic.
Okay.
This movie's awesome. Literally the best movie he's ever made in his whole career. Literally women rights. Are you saying you hate women rights?
After the alien episode, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
You're misogynistic over here. You're like female main character. I don't like
I actually did like this.
Her character
a lot.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, like the somber still moments were really interesting, and I wanted more of that. But then it just went, hey, look at this shit. Check this out. Hey, do you remember this? Check this out. Like that's just the movie for me.
Do you think this could have been cut to one movie?
Yeah.
Like cut stuff out to make it to one?
No.
Yeah. Well, like I understand why they made it. It could have been a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I didn't
Alex
care.
No.
I didn't like part 1 as much, so I'm like, yeah. Cut out Oren. Cut out.
No.
You cut out the Oren backstory.
No, you
cut out her getting the
if you're
Hanzo
gonna cut
Hanoi.
anything
No.
out, you cut off fucking Copperhead.
Yeah, that's true too. Like you can cut out a lot.
This is true.
I didn't like.
There's a lot of things I could easily cut out, and keeping all the main like murders being the same length.
I mean, maybe just shorten stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
but like,
cut down Oren, I guess.
A lot of
I
scenes.
feel like it was fine as it was.
Like the scene
Stop
where,
saying
the scene,
that's character.
The scene where like she pulls up next to Oren's bodyguard, the French lady.
Dude, that was epic and important.
That was weird. She just pulls up next to her.
She was like, "Hello."
Okay, bye.
She was having a flashback. She was having like, "Oh, this is the girl I have to murder. Now I'm prepared to murder."
I don't think that was that.
Damn, I just think you like
I'm
good
pretty
movies,
sure it's
dude.
like. All right, she goes to fucking Tokyo to find Oren, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, is this spoilers? We can talk about this later.
I mean, I don't know.
It's fine. I don't care.
So she goes, and you're just supposed to think that she knows where she is. No, she's tailing the fucking bodyguard to find Oren.
Oh, okay, cool.
So like, it's
See, this guy, it's because he doesn't get it. He thinks like this was bad because I don't get it. That's because you're stupid.
Well, it's because I'm like, I don't really see I don't know why the scene needs to be that long.
It can be shortened.
It can be shortened. There's a
There
lot of
are more scenes I can think of on top of my head that can be easily cut for no reason.
There's scenes in part 2 that can be cut.
I can think of scenes of part 1
That should be cut. Anyways,
We're probably jumping to spoilers, bro.
let's just do spoilers. Yeah.
Yes, I would recommend this movie.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
It's fine.
I recommend it.
Would you see with your dad?
I would watch it with my dad.
Yeah, your dad would be like, "Yeah, cut her."
This really seems like a movie that was made for older people. Like I knew my old supervisor like would reference like I'm Buck and I like to fuck. Like
that's a bad
exactly.
Bad reference to
He's
do.
not a great guy. He seems kind of weird.
He was like Harvey Weinstein was.
Oh God.
He seems kind of like a strange guy, but yeah, he would reference that and like the pussy wagon thing. Like that was funny to him, and it's just like that's weird. Okay.
Oh, what are you talking about? That is funny.
Pussy
I
wagon?
literally lolled and lamowed
You
out loud.
raffle-coptered
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you
I
saw
said
the
whoosh,
pussy
whoosh, whoosh,
wagon?
whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I definitely coppered something. Anyways,
That could be cut. Okay, go.
Let's just jump to spoilers. Watch me cut into the spoilers. Witchink. That was pretty fucking. That was just as cringe as the movie, apparently, as Sam would say.
Yeah.
Sam, I can't believe how angry I am with you internally.
Okay.
I can't believe you'd see this in such a wrong way. I feel like you're too serious.
I think maybe it's just in a weird mood.
I don't know. I walked in not even thinking of a single serious thing, and I'm like, this is great.
I think in general, a lot of things like I've been taking a lot of things just kind of in a weird angle. Like I don't know.
You're just wrong.
Maybe it's just a me thing.
I laugh in like in 3 years.
But
he watches it. He's like, oh my god. Well, like this movie was it.
So I was watching it by myself for the first part, and then I watched like the last like 20 minutes with Diego. And then he was like,
all of it or just the part 1?
Part 2.
Okay.
Like he walked in and he was just like, he saw some scenes and he was like, dude, like, stop, chill out. Like, it's not that bad. And I'm just like, yeah, but like, I just don't care, you know? Like, I'm just not into it.
Yeah, you like Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck? Why do you like Boondock Saints?
This is better Boondock Saints.
You're right. This is on the same.
And
you're right. This is on the same level as Boondock Saints.
No, this is better.
No. Like the action, I think, is as crazy and stupid as Boondock Saints. This movie is as stupid as Boondock Saints, I think.
I'm not crazy, right? Is he crazy for saying this shit or what?
No, this is actually good choreographed fucking fight
You're
scene.
crazy.
Sure.
This is a really great choreographic movie as
but
well.
I just don't care about the fight scenes. Like, I don't think it's like, whoa, holy shit, he jumped on a sword. Like, whoa.
Well, they're just entertaining to watch.
They're fun. It's just fun. Yeah. You not have fun?
I just don't care.
This guy just doesn't have fun.
I'm not interested. I don't think fight scenes are interesting.
In anything?
Like,
Why'd you like that Dragon Ball Z movie? Did you like them? Is that all just fights?
Because I like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but it's all just fights, though.
Yeah, but I don't like the fight scenes.
Why do you like that movie?
I want to see the story progress.
He says he likes Dragon Ball. He doesn't like the fight scenes.
The fight scenes are no. The fight scenes are fine, but I honestly I just want to see the story progress.
What story?
There's a story. No. Okay. Let's change this to JoJo, right? I think the JoJo story is great.
And those fights are great.
Those fights are great, right?
But the fights make it.
But the thing that matters to me the most is the way the story progresses. I care the most about the story of JoJo.
I care a lot about the fights.
So you're
fights connect to the story.
Okay, so you're telling me
they do fights connect to the story.
Okay, so tell me
that's why it's worse. I'm hearing he hates part 3.
What would you like? Yeah, part 3 is like the most.
Part 3 is really bad.
Part 3 is like the worst of the.
But that's also story-wise, not that good.
But right. Like, so you're telling me if I did a supercut of JoJo of only the fight scenes, you would be satisfied, right?
I mean,
most of them, yes.
I wouldn't be satisfied, but they're fun to watch.
Only the fight scenes or only the story?
Only fight scenes.
Really?
I would not watch JoJo for just the story. It would be bad.
Okay.
It would be like, this is stupid.
Okay.
Because what would be fun about it? There would be no fun. The fighting makes it to that level of being great.
Think of part 1. Part 1's story is horrendous. The fight scenes are make part 1.
I don't hate part 1 as much as most people.
Oh, it's not bad, but like
I think it's
together as a whole, it's good. But part 1 story is pretty. What
was the JoJo review of this? I'm saying is, in this movie, you're crazy for thinking Boondock Saints and Kill Bill is like the same. That's not even. I don't even know how that's.
So here, they're not the same. It is a little better.
No, it's
right?
like it's like the difference between like a kid's project and a professional's project. That's what Boondock Saints.
I don't think so.
Kill Bill was literally like cinematographed by like action choreorized by like the dude in The Matrix, I think.
Okay, The Matrix is fine too. Like I don't care that.
This guy doesn't know anything about action.
The Matrix is fine.
This guy doesn't know anything about action.
I stopped watching halfway through and stopped watching.
Okay, Matrix 2, 3, yeah, those are
Matrix 1 is
not good,
fine.
but Matrix 1 is great.
Nah,
Sam, what movies do you like?
What movies do I like?
At this point, I'm getting very confused. You know what? I just realized he only likes movies like Wes Anderson movies. Like there's no action in those movies. They're all just dialogue and plot and characters.
Really good.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't like action movies.
That's like my bread and butter.
Have you liked an action movie?
Do you like Star Wars?
Star Wars is like kind of cool, but I don't like the new Star Wars really.
And he's like the Marvel movies, right?
The Marvel movies are fine.
Yeah, so you think they're fine too?
Didn't I tell you? Like I saw Avengers 1 like
that's what I'm saying.
months
like
ago.
he doesn't like action movies. I just don't think of like action.
I don't think I do, which is why this is like.
This is why I'm like this. Like we just solved this. This is why you don't like action movies.
I think Inglourious Bastards and Django are really cool because like
they're not action.
The story.
Okay.
I like the action is like kind of neat. You know what I mean? But like the intense.
This is like mind blowing. We realize that Sam does not like a whole genre.
Like literally.
Dude, do you like the Fast and Furious movies?
They're okay.
Those are like
I like refuse to watch them because I'm just like, why would I see that? That looks so stupid.
Like those are like I watched those because my brother like, well, let's go to the movies and watch something.
Those are actually some that I watched just to make fun of.
like the first couple ones were like more serious.
Yeah, they were.
The first like 2 or 3, I think are.
I just have this weird nostalgia for Tokyo Drift for some reason.
Because you like Japanese shit.
No, just because I remember seeing it a lot as a kid. Huh?
Do you like Schoolgirls?
No.
Tokyo Drift.
That's like my weirdest thing with this movie.
That one schoolgirl?
The one schoolgirl.
We're not talking
I know she's like iconic. I know she's like iconic, which is like cool.
Is she? I don't know.
Yeah, she is iconic. Every once in a while, I'll see people talk about her on Twitter. Like, Go got did dirty. And it's like, yeah, she
died.
Oh, she's the one that Tarantino played for a second.
She was.
That's the choking scene.
When the thing gets wrapped around her.
Yeah, you're right.
That was him.
That was him. Good for him.
Yeah. We're not talking about Kill Bill anymore.
You're right.
We're talking about everything else.
So with Kill Bill, right? Whenever like in the Crazy 88 fight scene, right?
I think that's like
that was great.
Awesome.
It's like
that's what made the one volume 1 to me.
It's cool until all the other people show up.
No.
And then it's like, all right, I thought
it got like this got more epic.
No,
more epic.
I thought part 1 got great after they introduced Oren.
Yes. Once Oren backstory started, on that point, that's why I think volume 1 is my favorite because I just love.
Well, it's only that part. I think part 2 overall, I'm in it for the whole ride.
Well, think about this. My favorite villain was Bud. Not Buck. But not Buck. I forgot there's a character named Buck.
That's the shit I'm talking about though. Like, you could cut that whole scene out.
I like him like being at the strip club and being like
not about the Buck part, sorry.
Oh,
like that whole Buck shit.
Buck can
cut
go
that
away.
whole thing out.
It doesn't need to be there.
Does not change anything. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like those are the kind of scenes I'm like, we don't need more.
I see that. Or
that's
like,
what I mean.
Okay.
Or well, I guess you kind of need to see the Bill tell the one eye patch lady not to kill her. You kind of need to see that.
Yeah.
I don't need to see her change.
All of it, though.
I don't need to see her change into a fucking maid. What the fuck?
Maid in Abyss.
Nurse outfit, but also wearing an eye patch that has a nurse thing.
I think that's funny. That's actually funny. I laughed when I saw that. When she had an eye patch, I'm like, with the nurse thing on it, I'm like, that's funny. That's actually funny.
Still, when I wasn't sure if this was a parody or not. I saw it. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny?
I thought it was just funny.
I don't know.
In general, even if it's a serious movie, and I saw, I think that's still funny.
I don't know.
I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, I think the only scene I didn't need to see was when she's like smacking her head and you hear all the metal, because I just hate stuff like that. Yeah. I don't like stuff like that.
Like,
the more I think about this movie, the more I'm like, this movie's actually really good.
The slower scene, in general, I just prefer the slower scenes in this movie. Although I think it does get drawn out a little too long at the end when Bill just essentially becomes Mr. Glass from Unbreakable.
We finally talk about Bill.
Unbreakable. Yeah, the main guy.
When he becomes,
is Volume 1, you don't even see him, right?
No,
you don't see him once.
The first time you see him in part 2.
The beginning of
part 2.
Yeah. But I love how he turns into Mr. Glass at the end, where he starts talking about superheroes and like, Spider-Man, Superman, and it's just like, oh, this is just, I've seen this. This is Unbreakable. He's Mr. Unbreakable.
That wasn't what I was
also,
going to compare.
He was very wrong about that Superman thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think we're jumping a lot.
Yeah,
this is kind of.
I don't think it matters that we're chronological, but go with what you want to talk about.
This movie was all over the place.
Yeah. I want to talk about so. I don't know. Have you seen Pulp Fiction, Alex? I'm pointing at Alex. Have you seen Pulp Fiction? You barely.
I saw Pulp Fiction, but I didn't like it.
So, because the whole we mentioned this a long time ago, the whole theory this is a movie universe or whatever. In Pulp Fiction, because Uma Thurman's in it, her character mentions that she was in a squad, like a 5 squad, whatever, and that's referencing that this movie is that show the movie she's talking about in Pulp Fiction. Yeah. So saying that she was the actress who plays the bride.
Kind of like how in Logan when he picks up the X-Men comic. He's over exaggerated.
Yeah. That's kind of like that. That's I was gonna bring that up in general because I wanted to bring that up because I remember that because she talks about that the Death Squad, whatever the fuck the squad is called. I think she says that name or something similar to that name, and she's like, I was one of them. And that's why that's what, even though that movie came out 90 fucking 4 or whatever. Yeah. But that there was that. But I like the idea of let's go kill the everyone involved. Even that the assistant lady. I thought that was funny. They only showed those 4, and then once we need the assistant was there too on the phone. She was just there what's up? Anyways, blah, blah,
that's
blah.
why she didn't kill her.
I know that's why she didn't kill her. But I thought it was funny. There was looked around. She was also there. She was also just standing there.
Also, she didn't kill Bud.
Yeah, she technically did not kill, but what she was going to them.
Yeah. She was. She tried.
I thought, Bud's character. Oh, let's go to Copperhead real quick. AK no character. So I saw the trailer for this movie first.
What do you mean she's a mom?
I saw the trailer for this movie, and the way the trailer is shot, they make it seem like they talk. She opens the door and goes, oh shit, and then they talk in the kitchen, and then they fight after the kitchen thing.
Okay.
Because in the kitchen trailer, I swear to God, maybe I just wasn't looking well, but it looked like she was blood on her face. I just thought they were just talking, and then she's like, I have to kill you, and then they go fight. That's what I thought the scene. So when I watched the movie and they go straight to fight, I'm like, wait, when that kitchen scene's gonna happen? And it's funny, the daughter showed up, they're like, oh. I think she's like, oh, the dog, the damn dog, blew up our whole fucking house. Get the fuck upstairs.
Go upstairs.
I thought that was wild that she had a gun in her cereal.
That was pretty cool.
He was like,
did you know the cereal was kaboom or something like that? That was kind of neat. Again, it's the things that aren't about the action. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That is the action.
I just talked about the cereal box.
Yeah, kaboom. It's about the action. It's about the cereal.
I didn't say the gun was cool.
Yeah, I said the cereal was
a nice touch.
He liked the brand of cereal.
I said it was a nice touch that they put the gun in a box of cereal called
which is the action scene. Alex agrees with me.
Okay.
Sam, you're just ignorant.
I mean, I guess it was during the narrative part of the action scene.
But it's part of the action scene.
It's not effective to the whatever.
Yes, it is. It literally shoots the gun.
It doesn't matter.
He goes, I like what she missed. By a mile. That is funny. By a mile. And she's like, whoop, and then just knifed her once. I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
I thought maybe because I saw that Kill Bill 3 poster, which is probably not a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what if the third one is that daughter becomes older? Because they would have been old now. Because they mentioned the same age.
Yeah,
they mentioned that age.
She was gonna come back in part 2. I'm like, oh, part 2 is gonna be a time skip.
It's literally it's the same time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh, maybe the third one's gonna be like that.
That would be cool.
And then Uma Thurman's daughter is that's why she's because it's actually her daughter is an actress now. So I'm like, maybe that's why she's the poster of it. That's me making random shit up.
That's her headcanon.
But Orin, I think I love Orin. All her backstory, all of it. From that point onwards, I'm like, this is epic. I fucking love this shit. That's why I don't understand. You're like, just cut more Orin stuff. I don't know.
Because I'm just like, I think that scene just goes on a little longer than it needs to actually be.
It is a bit long, but
here's what you need, right?
Tooth in the nail, if you will.
Her getting to the fucking club, her fighting the 5 crazy 88 guys, and then you just need her fighting a couple of goons. You don't need her spanking a kid.
That's
you just
important.
Need her. It's not that. Plot. It's really not
teach
that
the
important.
kids not to do bad things.
That's another one of Tarantino's fetishes.
He loves spanking little boys.
Her fighting a couple of goons and then just fighting Oren in the snow. That's it. You don't need that. The fight scene does not need to be that long. I think
you're wrong.
I think in general, this is, like I said earlier, this is Tarantino at his most indulgent, and I just am not into it.
I think it's fun. I think like it sets up a mood.
Okay.
Like as from like that point onwards, where like if you look, you didn't see those backstories, you'd be like, she's not good at fighting because you don't see her fight Orin without the anime backstory shit. You just assume she just like.
No, you see her fight later because in the Yakuza boss meeting thing, you see
like,
her.
But like that's like that, but like that's like one like I just ran up to this guy and like cut his throat. Well, like you'd be like, she's not a competent killer.
She came up pretty quick.
But then you'd be like, oh no, the backstory. I'm like, oh, she's actually really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all part of a hit squad.
That's true. You don't really need a lot of backstory to learn that they're crazy assassins.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because first of all, you only see Oren's backstory. The only one you see is actually hers. You don't really actually have like a really long backstory.
You don't have a backstory for Copperhead.
But I think Oren is just fun. I think also because the whole Japanese aesthetic, maybe.
Yeah.
He was like, I want anime in this.
I
probably saw Evangelion.
I think after I saw part 1, I told Diego, this is like if a weeb had infinite budget and was able to make his favorite movie. And like, this is what I think this movie is.
Alex shook his head in anger. He said, "How dare you!"
Like, this is Hifumi's movie.
Oh my
god! From
Danganronpa. This movie.
Yeah,
this is why I love it.
That's exactly
why I love Bullet Train. But
did you really see that?
Yeah, we talked about this a lot with Fate. Bullet Train's actually really good.
Okay.
But because there's volume 1 end with Buck talking about Bud.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, because you said it. That's why him being like, we deserve to die.
Yeah,
is that ending of volume 1
part?
But I know he's a part 2, but doesn't he say in
the
beginning
of part 2?
Doesn't he also say in the end of
somebody
volume
else
1?
says
he's
that.
He's talking to Bill when he says that. We don't see Bill till part 2.
I swear to God, no. But
there is somebody says something where she deserves her revenge.
I think that's him. That's from him though. There's a scene where he says that, but you don't see who he's talking to.
Oh, I think so.
Like they just show him, and then I think that's like the end of volume 1. I feel like
maybe.
And then volume 2 goes, and then like they show that scene, but it's like with Bill.
No, it's when Bill's talking to the French lady.
He's like, you can't tell her daughter's alive.
Yeah, but he also says like, she deserves to go for us.
I feel like there was a scene where Bud says that, but you don't know who he's talking to.
Bud is not in the first movie at all.
You see the back of him.
That's all you see.
Yeah.
You don't see anything else of Bud in that.
He's
in the first volume.
I feel like you're wrong.
The first time you see Bud actually is in volume 2.
No, I feel like I would remember because when he said she deserves a revenge, I'm just like, yeah, she fucking does.
Yeah.
I would have said the same thing if it happened in part 1.
You want to know why I know I didn't see Bill until volume 2?
Bud.
Because I didn't Bud.
Wait, Bill or Bud?
Bud. Why I know I didn't see Bud until volume 2? I went, oh hey, it's Mr. Blonde. Like when he came on screen in part 2, I was like, oh.
Wait, well, I mean, you see his face in part 1.
Do you?
Yeah, because I saw him like, oh shit, what's his face?
It was Mr. Blonde.
Yeah, it was Mr. Blonde.
Oh Jesus.
You ever listen to the KB sounds of the 70s?
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, I only know one actor in this. Uma
oh my
Thurman.
God, really? I know like 3 of them.
Really? Who?
Yeah, Uma Thurman.
Okay.
Mr. Blonde and Oren. She's in other things.
Who?
Oren.
Oh, Lucy Liu, you're right. I forgot she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
I forgot she was like actually. Yeah. Okay.
She's actually in this movie. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, oh yeah, the girl from wasn't she was in like an animated movie?
She's in a lot of things.
I don't know. Lucy
she's a lot of like more. She's more TV though than like big movies.
Yeah.
She was in Elementary. This is beside the point. Anyways, yes. Okay. Anyways, I feel like I'm right though about Bud was in volume 1, but that's beside the point. Anyways, that line is a banger though.
That is a cool line.
Like,
really
like we're fucked. Like
that is cool.
That's why I thought his character was gonna be different. Where
I thought he was gonna like help her. Or something?
Yeah. Because he injects her with a drug, and then
cool,
and he calls the one-eyed chick, and I thought he was gonna wake her up like hey. Like,
Let's
he's
do
gonna
this.
kill. He's like, oh no. He was like, I'm just gonna bury you.
Yeah.
Alive. And then he was like, I'm gonna pepper spray you if you don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You want to do that? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, exactly.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I think that's a scene that could have been cut out.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I think it's kind of funny though. I'm just like, he's just like,
out of his ditch. Just a midget helping him.
Whoa! First of all, unnecessary. Second of all, he's not that short.
Oh really?
He's not that short. It's his perspective.
Oh, that was the joke because like when he pulled him out, he then pulled out a ladder.
I know, but I think
like,
I don't think he
the
was
guy
that
was
short.
standing on the ladder, and then he still then needed to get pulled out.
He's definitely shorter than 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a lot of people.
There's no way he's our height. my height.
Okay, first of all, don't say our. Me and Alex are like
right.
a giant's compared. Right. So Bud is epic.
Yeah, but it's cool. He's the coolest
voice is awesome. I love his voice.
Yeah,
because he doesn't sound like Mr. Blonde anymore. He just sounds like he has like throat like issues.
He's got throat cancer.
Like I didn't want to say that, but I knew you were gonna say that.
He smokes all the time and shit. He's got that jar of dip spit or whatever.
That's disgusting.
Which is disgusting.
Yeah. Also a day drinker.
Also a day drinker. He's probably got a couple of illnesses. I'm willing to bet.
He definitely has something going on.
He's got something. But
I love he does I don't think you guys seen Wind River, have you?
No.
That movie. That's a great movie. He does what happens in that movie where it's like open the door, just fucking shotgun you out immediately. Like it was like there was no fight. He would just like, oh, open the door, bah! Gotcha, bitch. Yeah. And I was like, nice, because I saw Bud and like he's not a fighter.
He doesn't really seem like a fighter.
Because especially when he's like, oh, you don't have the Hattori samurai sword, and I'm like, I do not want to see this guy with a samurai sword because he's portrayed as like a hillbilly.
That would have looked super.
That would have been so funny, but it would have been funny as in bad funny, not like funny as is funny.
That would have been enough for me to go, okay, this is actually funny.
I would have liked that.
It would have been. I would have been like, the fuck is
you need to understand the laugh I let out. When when the bride, I didn't even tell how I got spoiled. When the bride went up to meet that Chinese kung fu master, like the laugh I let out the moment the kung fu master was on screen, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks like that.
Always rubbing beard one direction.
Always rubbing in one direction. He's got a chopstick in his hair. He's got ridiculous bushy eyebrows.
I knew that was the thing because there was an episode of How I Met Your Mother where they kind of parried this, like getting like the slap of fucking death and all that.
The 5 fucking
they parried it with a slap, and then like the dude that's like showing the like technique, he's dressed like that, long beard, bushy eyebrows.
By the way, it reminds me, the funniest scene in this movie is when the California mountain snake or whatever reveals that she poisoned Huang Pei or whatever his name is, and it just immediately cuts out. You bitch!
He's like, hear my words. Your words are useless. You fuck.
Yeah,
I poisoned you. I win.
Like, I found it funnier when he was like. When Uma Thurman's character, she's like, why did he take out your eye? And you just see a flashback to him.
Yeah, that was funny too. There's so much weird comedy in that. The fact that Uma Thurman busts into that camper feet first, like drop kick. Like, have you ever seen that Godzilla drop kick? Have you seen that? Where he literally becomes vertical. It's that. And it had, because it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, of course her dirty feet are all over the shot.
Well, she had to take off her boots, remember?
You're right. You're right.
To lick her dirty little toes. They're little piggies.
You could have filmed that in any way possible.
Oink, oink.
The whole wiggle your big toe. You could have filmed that in any way.
Big dog, that's what she said.
Like this, like I said, Tarantino is like, yeah, of course. What do you mean I can't show her feet more?
Did you like that same fight scene where one-eyed lady she does also a karate one leg kicked?
Yeah,
but like it's super high tilted, but the shot where she jumps makes it look like she's going straight.
Yeah,
but the fucking actual kick is like upwards angled, like someone just threw a doll at her or something.
Pretty much once that fight scene hit, I realized that's when I fully accepted like this is a parody movie.
That fight scene is funny. I like how she tries to open up the sword. She keeps
hitting the thing. She hit the upwards. God damn it.
Like that scene with how goofy it was much more entertaining to me than the Crazy 88 fight scene. Like the one in part 1, which she's fighting which she's basically playing Dynasty Warriors.
I love, we were all laughing, and the second you said that, I mean, Alex just stopped talking. We're like,
you're an idiot.
I mean,
we're like, dot.
That scene is just so fun.
The 88 scene?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that fun.
It's just epic. It's literally epic.
Like this one's funny. The 88 scene is fun.
We're talking like people in 2000s.
You know what? That's how I think about it. It's epic. It's epic for lame fucking normies, okay? Also, literally, it's Dynasty Warriors, and those games suck. Okay?
I'm about to fucking rip your heart out, brother. Tell me why in my head I thought there was a scene like that.
What?
Where like someone rips someone's fucking heart out.
Probably because you saw the
one when she does the death punch, and then she goes. There must be a movie where that sound effect happens, and the end result is someone ripping someone's fucking heart out. Because I do have a vague memory of that sound effect, and then someone just fucking heart just. In their head.
Oh, Jesus. They explained that technique earlier, and they're like, oh, your heart explodes.
But, by the way, I love that they did the flashback about him explaining who Huang Pei was. Or I can't even remember the guy's name. What was his name?
I think it's Huang Pei.
It's something Pei.
It sounds like Pei Mai.
Whatever.
Pei.
He does the backstory, like telling the story about this Chinese master. Kung Pao. He does this backstory, right? Yeah. And I think this is him telling like about an ancient Chinese master.
I thought
and then the next scene is just, all right, so he's gonna train you, and it's like, whoa, what? This is now?
He's like, why? Like, what happens? Not nothing. Anyways, go up there, go
train with him.
Also, I was genuinely shocked that Bill's like an old ass fucking man.
Yeah,
because they were like, oh, that's your ex-fiance. But I'm like, oh, it must be like an average, like a normal adult male. And he's like, no, he's like fucking 90 or whatever. And I'm like, why the fuck does anyone like him?
I think it kind of works because he kind of looks like Ethan Hawke now.
Yeah, it also like definitely works with the whole like daddy aesthetic that Quinn was kind of working for with the character.
That makes sense, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, when he called her kiddo.
Oh yeah, we kept calling her. Oh, that's the other scene that needs to get cut when they finally announce her name because they bleeped it throughout half the movie.
So the first part.
And then I got spoiled because in the subtitles for part 2 they started saying it was Beatrix, and I was like, oh well, that's her then. Okay, that's her name.
I didn't know that was her name. I thought they just kept, because throughout the movie they'd say like fake names of hers.
Yeah.
So I thought that was another fake name. But then he kept saying kiddo, and I'm like, wait a minute, throughout the whole movie he's been saying kiddo.
I thought he was just being weird.
I was like, is he being a weirdo? But then I realized that's her name. I'm like, oh, you're just being like, you're addressing her by her last name, which is also kind of weird.
It is weird. It's definitely like Tarantino wrote that and he was like, yeah, that's good.
He's like, kiddo.
It took me way too long to get that.
I think Harvey would have run that one.
Yeah, probably. But like,
believe this whole episode.
This episode's getting trashed. The scene where they announce her name and then it cuts to an elementary school and it's just like they're naming everybody, and then she goes Beatrix Kiddo, and she goes present, and it's like, and then it goes away and it never comes back to that.
I thought, you know what I thought that scene was going? That was another like assassin story where she was pretending to be a kid and everyone was like, okay, like
Hitman, like, I'm a kid,
and then it was like, okay, and they're like, oh hey, what's up, and then like I thought that was that. She and then they never brought it up again.
Like, I need you to remember that scene is technically supposed to be in the same movie with the Oren stuff. Like, it's such a juxtaposition. I think it's way too different, personally. Okay, whatever. No, I think there's so much, like, as if I need to think about this as an entire film, right? Because Quinn considers it one film and everyone else, most other people do, and I think this movie is too scattershot to be actually amazing and great.
Somehow, I don't know how this happened. You might have just fucking 180 to me. What you just said at the end right now kind of convinced me a little bit on your side.
Okay.
Where you are right.
Okay.
Where like this is the same movie where the orange shit happens, and then that like she's like a weird.
There's like a serious anime scene in this movie. That's like crazy.
What I'm saying though, you don't cut that part out.
Don't cut that part. Because
that's epic. That's
but I'm saying
epic.
Like that scene is in the same movie where we just talked about a fight scene that's goofy where a girl can't open her sword that much. Where a woman talks about poisoning someone and then immediately cuts to the guy getting poisoned. A girl getting her eyes ripped out twice,
which is awesome. Actually, she ripped out someone else's eye in the 88 fight or whatever.
Really? Yeah.
Isn't I remember that? It's because
in the after credits they showed
in the after credits there's like a blooper kind of thing. Maybe, I guess so. Because she rips out like a random guy's eye and then like it just goes and he's like cut and you hear Quinn's like fucking high pitched voice. Yeah. And I was like, that has to be Quinn. And then she just like, let's do it one more time. And he's just like, let me know.
Can we just skip to the choking part?
She's that meme of that, like that view of like the guy that like the fucked up face with the grabbing emoji. I don't want you to edit that.
I'll find that.
Put that on the screen and they're like, you can't tell me you didn't miss doing the podcast.
I did. I did.
This is also us just being really mad at each other for no reason.
Yeah. Well, it's just because we're mad. You guys are both mad at me for not liking certain parts of this movie. It's so weird
because the more I think about this movie, I don't even know how I would rate it as like my Quentin Tarantino. It definitely would be in the bottom half.
Yeah.
Probably.
Especially because it's one movie. You can't say.
Yeah.
I'm not volume one.
Like, me as a whole movie, I'd probably put it like the second worst. Honestly.
Yeah. No.
But to be fair, I haven't seen Death Proof though. And I've every time I hear about it, I'm like, I know this doesn't sound like a fun movie to watch. But other than that, though, I'm like, there's like my favorite one's Django. I think that one's like I've seen that movie the most by like a million.
Okay.
And I love that movie. I think it was perfect. That's a perfect blend of what Kill Bill
you wanted to do.
Yeah, because Kill Bill is like funny but serious, but like in a weird way. Like Django is like perfectly funny and still serious throughout the whole fucking movie.
And I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of feet stuff in Django either.
No.
I will say this is the first Tarantino movie I've seen without the N-word, so there's props for that.
There's like one black character. There's two. There's two black characters.
Pulp Fiction said the N-word, and there's one black character in that movie.
Samuel Jackson's the one who says it like.
No, Tarantino says it in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, once.
He says the hard R twice.
Yeah, a couple of times. But every other time he says it's
the worst thing that's said in this movie is somebody says something about it says something bad about Jewish people. Like that's the worst thing you hear in this movie.
You're not gonna talk about.
I'm not gonna say it.
The buck fuck.
Well, that is like that's
wild.
That is wild. I'm saying the most overtly racist thing in this movie. Because again, there's a lot of like in other movies, like what was it? The last Tarantino movie, Reservoir Dogs. I was like, it's not a Tarantino movie without the N word.
That means one isn't a Tarantino movie, is it?
I guess it doesn't count.
Well, Samuel Jackson's in it, so I think it kind of balances it out.
He's in it for like a minute.
He's in it for like 10 seconds.
You think he would? Because isn't that his thing? He says that
the N word, yeah. Yeah, we're at the part where he kills Bill.
Yes.
Let's just go there. So
the best fight scene.
So let's go to the end, basically. You find out she has a daughter.
Yeah.
No. Actually, before that, you meet the weird Mexican guy. Well,
that's weird too.
I thought that was pointless. Honestly.
That is pointless.
I remember I was like during that scene, I'm like, what is this?
Because
what is it going?
I guess like what you're supposed to take from that scene is like, oh, Bill has a thing for blondes, but it's like you don't really need to.
Like I don't care.
That doesn't matter.
No,
man.
I think it's like him telling her like Bill wants you specifically to find him. He wants you.
I guess that's it. But
because he wants to fuck with her to be like, your daughter is here.
Yeah,
like because that was obviously playing that whole bit that he did with the daughter. So it's like
because it was a bit.
I want you to like. He was like, oh, this is a funny bit. Let's just do this bit real quick. Let's put this camera on this corner. Let's record your mommy. Funny fucking prank. Fucking one eye gone. Yeah. But yeah, that scene was pointless. But so I went for that though. Yeah. So when that scene happens, I'm like, oh, this is like going completely different than what I thought this was going. I knew there was not going to be no like. Fucking Last Samurai showdown between.
I thought there was no way
there was gonna be that. I didn't think it was gonna be that because I saw Bill and I'm like, they talk like he's a fucking like a master, and I'm like, I can't see that.
I did think it was gonna be that.
Really? Am I the only one? I was like, I don't see the old man.
I was like, Quentin's gonna make him do it. It's not gonna look good.
To be fair though, he got him because he could do those things because he does like other action movies, so that's what he did. So he does like. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just saying like this scene. I can't imagine that character.
Yeah,
I just see him as like an old decrepit man.
Yeah.
Which makes sense how he goes out. That final scene is like kind of like unsatisfying, but at the same time like, oh, it's the one that makes the most sense.
I loved it. That fight choreography with the table.
Yes, that was kind of cool.
That was really great.
You would think though that he was because he did like a sneak attack on her basically.
Yeah,
like he's like old as fuck. Like I don't know why he thought he would have won that way.
Listen, I'm a man, so I'm gonna be stronger. That's part of.
To be fair, he would have won if she didn't know that technique.
That's true.
I think that's all. He honestly did not know.
He didn't know that she knew.
He was like, "Oh shit!"
He's like, "He taught you."
Who do they practice that on?
Oh yeah.
Like, did they just find someone to practice that on? Like, is he just go like, "Oh, so here's a dummy, and then this is how you do it"?
No,
or like a real person there, but like pretending like it's a dummy.
They go down to the village and kidnap someone.
Let's get Uber Eats, okay? But let's not pay for it.
Free Uber Eats.
What is called? They never showed up. It's not my fault.
They didn't explain how the rice showed up. That's how they got it. They called Uber Eats. They got Panda Express, and then
So wasn't that weird that he had a regular gun, shot at her, and it's like just kidding, and then put that gun away, but then put that like a tranquilizer gun. It's like I'll shot you with that though. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was pretty funny too.
Just, the fact that he was like just kidding and like just like fucking did a weird spin with it and threw it back in, and I'm like, what do you mean just kidding? Like was that a gun, a fake gun, or you were just like, I'm not gonna actually shoot you? And I'm like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
and he was like, you're a liar, and I'm like, I mean, I feel like she doesn't lie to you a lot.
You're also like, kind of a liar too, man.
I mean, you're kind of more of a compulsive liar than anything else.
Here, you want me to tell you my favorite fight scene that isn't really a fight scene?
Which one?
It's the standoff right after that, the one with Kim. That's cool.
Yeah, that one's funny.
That one's no, it's not funny.
Yeah, what do you mean? How's that not funny?
That's like tense because it's just like. It's like the fucking standoff scene from Inglourious Basterds. Two people ready to kill each other.
Which one?
Well, in this, what I'm saying.
No, Inglourious, but which was tennis?
The one in the bar.
Those are not comparable. These are not comparable.
They're not comparable. This is not as tense, but this is like the precursor of that.
Which one?
No.
The scene where Beatrix finds out she's pregnant, and then the assassin comes to kill her. And they're having a standoff. They're getting ready to shoot each other, and then she's like, "Just trust me. I need you to just look at the pregnancy test." I don't think that was funny.
I felt like that went on a little too long.
It was a little part of it.
Because she was literally like, she was like, I don't know what this means. He's like, just read the box. It's right there. And he's like, what? Blue. I'll read it first. Yeah. Like, that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like, shut the fuck up. I'm reading. And he's like, oh shit. And he's like, oh, congratulations. And then he like fucks off or what. That's funny to me. I don't think that was tense.
I don't think that was as funny as some of the other funny things in this movie.
I want to say it's like the funniest thing, but I'm saying like,
I didn't take that scene as like humorous. I thought it was supposed to be like, we're trying to make something. These two like trained assassins who kill countless people.
They have empathy.
Yeah, and showing empathy. And like that's
But I also think it's funny. Like it's also funny.
Okay.
Like they're both. It's tense and funny.
Okay.
I don't know how you not think that's funny. Did you think that was funny, Alex?
Did
you go hard?
I don't even remember.
No, I remember the scene.
Like, oh shit!
No, I didn't think it was funny.
I thought it was funny because she's like, I can read. Like I'm reading it.
I'm gonna read it.
I thought it was actually pretty tense.
I thought it was funny because she's literally like, I don't know what this means.
I think your brain is broken, Omar.
Me?
Yeah.
So what do you think was he just like, oh, I'm gonna ask you questions with the truth, which is why he's like, oh, I made a truth. I just invented this truth serum.
I just invented it.
That's just way better. And she just like, oh, okay. And then just like, oh, do you like kill? He's like, yeah. Like,
did you enjoy every kill? Yeah.
I did like, because I was like, where is this building up to? But then that pregnant scene when she talked, I like how it went from her in the sofa to them on a table. Like they completely moved.
Yeah.
To like that entire, because I guess they were just standing and talking or whatever. But I did like that, like her character. The more I think about it, one is obviously that's like fucked. Yeah, like she's like one. I mean, I assume she was raped multiple times, but she was in a coma for 4 years.
Oh, that was.
That alone is fucked.
We can cut that out. We don't need that in the movie.
Yeah. That's all. I'm like, that's unnecessary. She was pregnant and died. I thought they shot like the stomach or something.
I thought so too.
But I guess they showed the scene again. I'm like, oh, I guess they never
shot her.
I guess because she couldn't give birth naturally, they had a C-section.
Yeah, C-section. Or maybe he was just like, I'm gonna kill her, but not the baby. Like he knew maybe because I think he could infer it's his.
Yeah.
Also, she did say at the end, like,
I thought that was shocking. Like that was shocking to me. That it was his.
Oh,
like when she says it, she's like, "This is your."
Yeah.
Like, shot in the head or whatever.
Whoa.
I thought what?
Just the fact that in general, like.
In general, it's his.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird because like, when you meet his character, Bill's, like, and when you talk about him, you think I'm more of like a father than like a boyfriend. He's calling
her kiddo, but then you don't find out that's her name.
He's old as fuck.
Yeah, that too.
Like Bud is more closer to their age than Bill is, and they're brothers, which I thought was a weird. I guess that's a twist. I was like, oh, they're brothers. Okay,
that is weird.
That's weird because Bud looks like he's not that much. He looks like he's way younger. He could be his son.
Yeah,
he could be Bill's son more than
Bill's fucking old, man.
Bill looks super old, which is so weird to me. He's like Royal Tenenbaum. Like he's just like a really old guy. We're supposed to believe this guy's like a fucking samurai warrior.
Quentin should have just casted Royal as Bill.
Is he like not dead at the time?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But anyways, what do you think about the kid?
Kid's
like
cool.
Her scenes. I actually thought that made me feel sad.
Why?
Yeah.
Those kid scenes. 'Cause I was like, oh, this kid like doesn't like know, like that her fucking dad is like a fucking psycho, and he also kind of just killed her mom, and then but the mom just ended up living. He just like, I made her sleep. She'd been asleep for the hyperbolic time chamber.
I feel like in a way he kind of proved what's her name?
Wrong.
Yeah,
the bride. I always said a weird
kind of proved
like
her wrong. Where
he
like,
can raise.
He's like,
it's ironic, right?
If you raise this kid, she would have been born into like terrible shit.
Yeah,
and
he's just like,
look, we're playing pretend right here.
We're playing pretend murder, mom.
We live in a great place in Mexico.
I do love that scene. I think is really funny where he's like, we're playing possum, and then the little kid's like, yeah, mom's like, no, you're still dead. He's like, oh yeah, my bad. And then she goes back to playing dead. I thought it was kind of funny. That seems kind of real. Like, I think this movie's also the least Quentin Tarantino movie, dialogue wise.
Yeah,
like because usually his dialogue is just like imagine regular conversations in a movie. This one's just like all the conversations are kind of just like
dramatic,
serious or dramatic. Only a handful of them are just like kind of like a lot of the Bud stuff is probably the most like Quentin Tarantino stuff, and I guess with Copperhead, like when they're done fighting, like those kind of conversations. But other than that, it's like a lot of it's just like serious, or plot or whatever.
Yeah,
I thought another funny tidbit I just remembered right now, because even though you reminded me like 10 years ago, that went to the Yakuza boss stuff. That I thought it was funny that a French woman translated English to Japanese to Japanese people.
Yeah,
like because technically that chick was French. I was gonna say she's a French lady.
Yeah,
and then Orin is Chinese and American.
She was half Japanese.
Yeah, but I think like she's more French though. Like you know what I mean? Like so like this French lady is translating Japanese for Japanese people from an English speaker. You know, like I thought it was like
it's just a whole circle.
That's so wild.
It's like how the Huang Pei or whatever was like, "Do you speak Cantonese?" And she's like, "I speak Japanese."
He's like, not even fucking ask you that. Do you speak fucking English? Do you speak it?
Like it was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Realizing we skipped over a whole character.
Who?
The fucking sword maker.
Oh yeah, Hattori.
I kept saying Hazo Hanoi or
Hattori.
That was kind of.
That's why I thought it was racist. Was his stuff, because I'm like, is this being really overtly like
a little
stereotypical Japanese racist?
But
then they're doing it on purpose though, to like make you think they're not anyone.
His assistant in the credits is literally bald guy.
Yeah, bald guy. Yeah, he's like bald guy.
I
thought he had a name. I guess not, or whatever.
Didn't he yell at him?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did yell his name.
I thought they were like father and son, but you see him, I'm like, oh no, he's like fucking like the same age.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same guy.
That's why I didn't know I thought it was gonna be like a young guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the beginning I was like, is this racist? I'm like, oh no, they're doing that to like make sure no one knows who like they are or whatever. Then they were like, they kept teasing like who he was in this world, and I thought it was gonna be like, oh, maybe he killed Orin's like family, like, you know, one of those guys.
Like he's like something like that.
Like remember that the one dude who like actually killed the dad, like the one who stabbed him, like he had like cool hair or whatever.
Is his character a reference? So I feel like I've seen that done multiple times where like, oh, it's famous like weapon maker like retires.
I think it's a classic Japanese.
Goes in hiding.
Yeah. I mean, look at Master Roshi.
Yeah.
Master Roshi's an old pervert man, but he's also like a fucking martial arts champion.
I'm also talking about like someone goes to look for him and they're like, I'm looking for this person. He's like, why do you want to see this person?
Star Wars.
Is
Yoda.
it?
Remember, because he goes to meet Yoda in Dagobah.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Where's Yoda?" And he's like, "Why do you want to meet Yoda?" And then he's like, "I'm just kidding. I'm Yoda."
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that like
I think it's just like a trope.
all the time.
I think like the master is like a drunken fool. Karate Kid.
Yeah,
that as well. Anyways, this movie is really good. Sam is wrong.
Yeah. We gotta pick up the next movie now.
No.
It's a smart movie.
Next movie's Kill Bill 3. We'll make it ourselves.
I will kill myself if the next movie is a Tarantino movie.
I don't think. Do I even have any? Because I've seen. The only one I haven't seen is Kill Bill. So I mean, and Death Proof, but I don't really want to watch Death Proof.
Yeah, go for it.
He's spinning. That's so loud.
It's gonna be American Pie, guys.
If that's on my list, what the fuck?
No, it's not.
It's gonna be a great movie.
Hey, it's
a movie.
Okay, I'm down for this. Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah, porn movie. Mark Wahlberg and porn. Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly.
What's up with Mark Wahlberg?
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like we've seen a lot of Mark Wahlberg.
That's not true at all.
We've seen one.
Name three Mark Wahlbergs we've seen.
We've seen The Departed, and that's it.
We just talked a lot about him, didn't we?
We talked about Mark Wahlberg.
Why did we talk about this?
He's legendary.
I don't want to be talking about him a lot.
I remember now. I get it. Technically seen two movies.
I did go to Wahlburgers at one time.
Did we?
I went to Wahlburgers.
Oh, we haven't.
Oh, we should.
We should on the company
right now.
Now available to own on DVD and video.